If you are just joining us this morning, a manhunt is still underway in Utah after Turning Point USA founder and conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed in a political assassination. You can see here students trying to flee the scene after Kirk was struck in the neck while speaking at a debate event at Utah Valley University. The FBI now asking anyone with videos or information on the shooting to come forward. Cooper Brown was just 15 feet away from Charlie when that horrific scene unfolded, and Cooper joins me now. And Cooper, you were working this event. You were in charge of the microphone that people were using to ask Charlie questions. So tell us what you saw yesterday.
Right. So this story actually goes back several weeks. I had been helping this Turning Point chapter at Utah Valley University prepare for Charlie Kirk. I work for an organization called the Leadership Institute, and essentially what I do is I go to different college campuses and I work with those conservative coalition groups on college campuses, Turning Point USA being the most prominent at this point. And so we had been preparing for weeks for Charlie Kirk to come to campus, and that day we had 30 or so student volunteers that were designated roles that were going to be helping pass out Turning Point USA merchandise and getting people signed up for the event. And my responsibility was, when the event actually started, to help manage just the microphone. So something simple as just raising it and lowering it, making sure students were able to speak into it clearly. And I thought this was a fantastic opportunity to be up really, really close, to be able to witness all the amazing dialogue that was going to be happening on campus. But unfortunately, very, very soon after the question and answering started, I heard a very, very loud pop. And I looked to my right and I see Charlie Kirk, his body shake and blood begin to pour down from the side of his neck. At that point, his security team was able to get him down and then evacuate him as quickly as possible. And essentially chaos then ensues that you see from the videos. People hit the ground, many of us anticipating multiple shots. And after a few moments of realizing that, thankfully, that wasn't going to come, grabbing people and running to the nearest evacuation point.
What were you thinking, Cooper, as all of this was unfolding before you?
To be brutally honest, I was thinking about Butler, Pennsylvania, immediately when it happened. I thought, oh my goodness, this happened again. And it was, as you can imagine, the shock and awe of everything. You have to take a moment and a second to concentrate and get your mind right. And those few seconds of silence, waiting for multiple gunshots, gave me the opportunity to try and say, like, hey, there's people around us. We gotta start moving. Yeah. And thankfully, directly in front of me was the location where most of the police presence was, and where Charlie came in from. So there were vehicles there, and we were able just to start grabbing people and pushing them towards that direction and get them somewhere safely as fast as possible.
Man, Cooper, I think we're all thinking about those similarities. And President Trump loved Charlie, but this hits even closer to home for him because of what he went through at Butler, Pennsylvania. And one of the things about Charlie that made him so influential and so important is because he, during these political events, would say to the crowd, anybody who disagrees with me, come forward first. I want to debate you. I want to use words to advance the civil discourse. If only the shooter had done that. Where does this leave us?
This leaves us at a fork in the road. My biggest concern at this point is that I fear that there won't be change to occur, where one political side of the aisle is allowing the rhetoric and to raise the temperature in this country to say that, hey, this is okay to have this these kind of promotions of active violence. I have seen this a lot escalate in the last several years. When I'm on campus, there's a lot of the time where students come up to us and they call us names, they try and rip up our signs, they say bad things to us. And for most of us, we really just kind of brush it off. We think that there's like, okay, yes, we've heard this a million times before. There's only so many times you can call us a Nazi, racist, and we all know that that's not true. But at this point, there are many people that believe it. It only takes a few people that are deranged, that believe that, to then gain the will and the courage to perform an act of violence like this and ruin the day and the lives of thousands of people that were there.
You're right. We are at a crossroads, at a fork in the road. But we do know one thing for sure, and that's that Charlie is with the Lord right now, the Lord that he loved, and that should bring us all who knew him and loved him comfort. Cooper Brown, thank you so much for joining us with your perspective and what you saw yesterday. We appreciate it.